I thank you for being here today. Let's find a nice seated position and sitting tall on our sits bones. Maybe have your legs crossed. If that's not comfortable, you can extend your legs out. Either way, nice straight spine, finding nice posture, pointing our toes up toward the sky, shoulders down away from our ears, maybe even do a little rotation, stacking your shoulder blades, finding our breath, either with a soft gaze or closed eyes. Allow my voice to lead you through the practice. So we'll find our breath, inhaling and exhaling, emptying all the air, even down into our abdomen. Inhaling, holding it at the top, and a nice long exhalation. And you might find your navel goes in towards your spine on the deep exhalation, letting all of the air out of the lungs. Inhalation. And exhalation. Typically go in through my nose and out through my mouth. Do a couple cycles of that to yourself. Inhaling through the nostrils. Feel the coolness and exhaling through the mouth. 2 more times. Taking our legs wide, spreading our legs, taking our arms up overhead, twisting to the right, taking the left hand over the right knee, elongating the spine, using your right arm as a kickstand. We'll do 5 deep inhalations and exhalations here. If you'd like to take your chin over the right shoulder and the left shoulder with the last few breaths, go ahead. And as you move to the left, taking that right arm over the left knee and the left arm back as a kickstand. Finding 5 deep breaths here, maybe taking that gaze over the left and then the right shoulder and the left and the right. Coming to center, walking the fingertips out, Placing your forearms on the floor, gently folding in. Your back is somewhat straight, not hunching your shoulders over, but elongating the spine. Nice. Placing your hands behind your hips, bringing your soles of the feet together, sitting in cobbler, hands wrapped around the soles of the feet and elongating the spine. Let's do some circles. We'll go counterclockwise. Feel this through the top of your hip sockets. We'll do 2 more. And then we'll change directions, starting small. And we'll do 3 more, making them a little bit larger with each rotation. Nice. Extending your legs straight again. We'll do some side push-ups, keeping your elbows close in to your trunk. We'll do 3 more on each side. Back and forth. Last one. And then we'll come back up to a seated position. Placing our hands behind our hips, bringing our feet up towards us and go into a reverse table. Taking that gaze up through, looking at the sky, and bringing it down. Extending the legs out, bringing the right leg in, folding it into the side, extending our left leg out, taking our peace fingers, or if you have your strap handy, grab your strap, folding in to that left side. Take the arm up, or you can place it on the nape of your back, folding into it, breathing. Nice side stretch, opening up that right side. One more deep inhalation and an exhalation, folding a little bit deeper into that side stretch. Coming up, taking the right leg down, bringing the left leg in. Sitting up nice and straight, using your strap or your peace fingers, folding in to that side, opening up the arm, putting it in the nape of your back, or bringing it overhead to find that nice stretch through the left side. One more breath. Coming up, taking the legs together, bringing it in, placing your hands behind you for a reverse table. When we're in reverse table, because we've done this for a couple weeks, let's take that right leg out. Bring that right leg in. Take the left leg out and bring the left leg in. We'll come down and sit cross-legged. Finding your sits bones, taking your arms up overhead. Let's fold over at the hips into a forward fold. And take our fingers, see if we could stretch out a little bit more. Taking the palms of our hands over to the right. Feeling a nice opening in that left-hand side. Taking it to the left. Folding into that. Taking it to the center and coming back up. Changing our legs. Take our arms up overhead again. Folding forward. Walking those fingers out. This time going over to the left first. The center. And the right. Back to the center. And let's bring that up. Keeping our gaze down. Let's rock our chin. Taking the gaze to the right and the left, like a rowboat. Right and left. 2 more times. Last rotation to the right and to the left. Very nice. We'll go up to tabletop. Do some cat and cow. Inhalation. Exhalation. With your own breath. One more. And with the next inhalation, taking that right leg back, twisting the foot, and using the left leg as a kickstand, taking the right arm up into the air. Nice. It's in your practice to lift up that right leg. Let's lift it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg down. Bring the arm down. Come back to cat and cow. With the next, bring your left leg back, coming to your right knee, placing your right arm down, taking your left arm to the sky, lifting up that left leg if it's in your practice. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back down to table. We'll go into child's pose. You can use your hands, extend them in front of you, or take your elbows to the mat, resting your hands over your head in prayer. Nice cleansing breath. You might notice this version of child pose gives you a little bit of a deeper stretch through your arms, shoulders, and into your lumbar spine. Placing your hands in a triangle with your forearms on the mat, taking your knees off the mat. They can be a little bit raised, or we can go into a full dolphin. And let's move forward and backward through dolphin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Placing your knees back on the ground, going into child's pose. Finding your breath in child's pose. Coming back up into your forearms. Pushing back up into dolphin. And taking the right leg up. Hold that. Bring it down. Take the left leg up. We'll bring it down and come back into child's pose. Back to tabletop. Taking the left arm up. We'll thread it through the right. Under for thread the needle. Opening up that shoulder. Nice fold. Unfold from that. Taking the right arm up and threading it through the needle. Breathing nicely into that. Coming back up. We'll go into our first downward dog of the day. Tucking our toes under, bringing our knees off the mat. We can have our heels, walking our dogs out, just feeling the feel. Taking the left arm to the right ankle, doing a nice side twist. Replacing that left hand back. And then lifting the right arm, taking it to the left ankle. Nice side twist. Placing that, and lifting up on our toes and walking our feet to a forward fold. Bending into a forward fold. Halfway up, straight backs, forward fold. And bending our legs, coming up. Finding our mountain. Nice mountain pose. Taking our right foot back. Going into warrior two. Noticing our alignment. Straightening that front leg. Taking arms overhead. Warrior two. Dropping the back arm, taking our front arm up to the sky with our gaze following. Feeling the strength in those legs. Back into warrior two. Drop the front knee or drop the front elbow to the knee. Bringing the arm by the ear. Finding the strength. Very nice. Dialing the top arm back down. Bringing us back to warrior two. Straightening that front leg, and let's go to a 5-star triangle. So with our 5-star triangle, let's bend into goddess, bending our knees, our arms, goddess, lifting our right heel, placing it down, left. We'll do this back and forth. One more time on each side. Coming back up into our 5-pointed star. Bending the right knee, going into warrior with our right arm, right knee. Gaze over the right hand. Straighten that. Go back into warrior two. Dropping that left arm down the leg, taking the gaze up towards the sky. Notice if you're clenching your jaw, find your breath. Dropping that right elbow to the right leg, bringing the left arm up towards the ear. Nice side stretch. Notice the strength in your legs. Coming up to warrior two. Taking those toes Turn to the left and find our 5-pointed star again. This time we will hinge at the hips, taking our hands down to the mat. Moving our hands to the right side, bending into that right leg to neutral, and then taking it to our left side. Taking it to the center. We'll go into goddess, lifting up the right heel and the left heel and the right heel and the left. We'll do it one more time. And then we'll lift up both. Let's see how our balance is. Putting our heels down, coming up to a 5-star. We'll move our legs together, finding Tadasana, finding our breath. Just doing a little bit of a scan. Let's take our arms up overhead, taking our left hand around our right wrist. Fold over to the left side, really opening up that right side. Maybe taking the gaze towards the right side of the room, coming back up, and taking the right hand around the left wrist, folding over to the right, and taking that gaze over to the left. Coming up to a neutral, bringing our arms down, taking our arms wide, hugging ourselves. Notice whether you did right over left or left over right. Moving those shoulders up and down. 2 more times. Extending them out. Whichever one was on the top, put it on the bottom. Hug yourself again. And let's move those shoulders up and down. Let's put our hands in prayer at heart center. And let's rotate them around. I'm going counterclockwise right now. And let's stop and go the opposite way. And find our heart center. And then taking those arms or those fingers and point them down. And point them up. And I'm pressing the palm of my hands together. Point them down. And back up. And then towards yourself. And up. And we're pressing our palms together. Pressing. Pointing them towards you. Pressing. Up. Let's take them up overhead. Swan dive forward. Placing them on your blocks or on the floor. Grabbing your elbows, ragdoll, maybe doing a little rock side to side. Sending them back to the floor. Bending, bending, bending. Bringing the arms up overhead. And let's sit down into a seated Utkatasana. Seated, bringing the arms to prayer. Notice our alignment. Make sure our knees are in alignment and coming back up. Nice. Find our mountain. Take your gaze out about 6 to 8 feet in front of you. We're going to lift up our right leg and put it down. And we'll do this 3 more times. 2 and 1. And this time, see if you can hold it in towards your chest with your right hand, taking your left arm out to the side. Focus on that drishti. And if you need a chair or something, go ahead and use it. And we'll put that down. Walk those legs out. And then we'll find our trunk on our other leg. And let's lift this leg up and down to really get a solid foundation. Do it one more time. See if you can find your stabilization. Find that drishti. Taking the opposite arm out to the side. Nice. You guys are doing a great job. Okay. Shake that out. Nice. Some nice stabilizing breaths. We'll take a forward fold. Hands to the mat. Down into downward dog. Step back into downward dog. Taking your left leg up, bringing your leg through to your hands. You could stay in a high lunge, or you can bring your knee down, bringing your arms up. Placing your right arm down next, or your right hand down next to your left foot, taking your left arm up. So you can have your knee down, or you could be in a low lunge. Bringing the left hand down, rotating that right foot, coming up into right side. If you're on your knee, come up. twist. Sometimes I like to put my extended arm into the nap of my back. Bringing the right arm down, going back into plank, downward dog, taking that right leg up, bending it, extending it through to the hands, low lunge. You can bring your hands up or place your knee down, bring your hands up, place your hands, framing your foot, taking your right arm off the mat, extending it high into the sky. Putting that hand back down, framing with the left, extending those toes towards the corner of the mat, taking your left arm off the mat. If you're on your knees, take it up, or you can extend it behind the nap of your back. Bring that left arm down, take that right leg back to plank, drop your knees, Chaturanga, come in to Sphinx. Pushing back with your hands, feeling that in your lower back, and coming down, creating a pocket for your head, taking your right arm and your right leg and doing a stretch, and then pushing in and seeing if you can take your chest off the mat and press the ankle into the hand for a little bit of a back arch. Very nice. Change hands, change legs, making another pillow, taking your hand, grabbing the ankle, pushing up into, pushing off your chest, pushing your ankle into the palm of your hand, feeling that extension of the arch in your back. Coming down, putting your hands just outside the corners of the mat, legs about mat distance apart, lifting through the palms and the forearms, lifting through and lowering, lifting through and lowering. And one more time. Then go on your fingertips, lifting your forearms off the mat, and just notice the difference. Notice the difference, pushing through, extending, getting a little bit more rise in the chest, and lower down. We'll do this 2 more times, lifting up onto our fingertips, and make sure you're breathing. Coming down. And one more time. Pushing through. Very nice. Coming down. And we'll turn over onto our backs. If you have your block handy, we'll get our block handy. If you happen to have it, if you don't, you could use a pillow or a bolster. Bringing our knees up towards the ceiling, hands by our hips, arms resting. Let's rock our knees left and right. Feeling nice twist. And we'll bring that to a halt, putting the soles of our feet together, taking our arms out to a T, finding breath. You can use your arms or your hands to bring your knees together, taking your right leg up, putting your ankle over the knee, bringing your hands either clasped behind the knee or in front of the shin, whichever. Flexing both feet, pulling a little bit of that leg towards your chest. If you want to fold into it and take your shoulder blades off the mat, you can do that as well. Unfolding from that, bringing the right leg down, crossing the left ankle over the right knee, taking your hands and clasping them behind the knee, folding into that hip opener. Unfolding, putting both feet on the floor, pushing up into bridge, pushing through the heels, really holding that and rolling down. Push up again. This time, see if you can lift your heels off the mat. Lift your heels off, bring them down, slowly rolling back down one vertebrae at a time. Taking your block, putting it between your knees, and squeezing that block, squeezing it, pushing back up, squeezing, and coming down slowly, one vertebrae at a time. I'm going to do this a couple times. Squeezing, pushing back up, squeezing that block between our legs, And slowly rolling down. And one more time, pushing up, holding that block, taking the heels off the mat, squeezing into that block, squeezing, heels down, rolling that down. Taking that block up as if you're in an invisible chair. I'm holding that block in place, dialing my legs to the left, taking your arms out to a T, and then we'll dial them to the right. Neutral, we'll do one more time on each side, taking and dialing those knees to the left, and then neutral and to the right. And bring those feet down, take the block to the side, and extend both feet down to the bottom of the mat. Taking the arms overhead, stretching, and bringing the legs up, folding into a little ball. Extending your shoulders back down to the mat and rocking with your legs into your chest from side to side. Nice rocking motion. Shooting the left leg down. Hugging the right leg in. Bringing the left leg back. Taking the right leg down. Hugging the left leg in. Bringing both back up. Rocking back and forth. Taking the legs up towards the sky, flex feet, slowly bringing them down to the mat. Arms overhead, legs over to the right, as far as they can go. Legs to center, and then over to the left. To center. Hands down to the side. We'll do a scan of our body. Scan. Maybe allow your feet to splay open. Pointing your toes, clenching your fists, and relaxing. Pointing your toes, clenching your fists, and relaxing. And one more time. This time, let's clench our face too, and clench as many physical muscles you can in your body, and relax. We'll go into Shavasana. Letting our breath fill the voids in our body. With the next inhalation, begin to just add a little bit of movement to your fingers and toes. As if you're waking up to a new day. And stretching your arms overhead, rolling onto one side, finding a couple breaths. When you're ready, come up to a seated position. Coming back to the room, arms out wide, bringing them overhead to prayer and down into heart center. Student and teacher in me honors the student and teacher in each and every one of you. Thank you for being with me during this practice. Namaste.